Welcome back to God of War 3. I'll be doing a little bit of skipping around in this part, mostly because there's a topless woman here and the YouTube algorithms are, no.
No, man, you gotta edit it out. Put some effort into it. It's not a pain in the ass at all. You won't lose hours of sleep.
Are you speaking,
Programs
are you
won't
speaking, are you
crash.
speaking from experience?
No, absolutely not. What would give you that impression at
So the
all?
thing about it is, if you don't know anything about,
I mean, let's be real though, Ryan. The blood from earlier parts have already fucking shot this playthrough the
yeah,
hell.
Probably. I mean, depending on how the algorithm wants to read it.
yeah, like Hercules' face was
Yeah,
pretty.
there's a reason why all those Mortal Kombat 11 fatality compilations always do the fatalities on Devora. Because she doesn't bleed red.
Yeah, so it's more a matter of I would rather not risk our channel even getting a strike because of that.
Oh yeah, that is something that could give you a full-on strike. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, cutting past the nipple is one way of doing it. No, 'cause, yeah, I am speaking from experience, and those that watch SGB,
Heavy rain.
like for years. Heavy Rain was one. No, L.A. Noir was the worst.
Oh yeah.
Our
Oh,
first,
that's okay. Yeah.
our first L.A. Noir playthrough, the homicide desk, the Black Dahlia murders. Oh my God, it was every case. Like it was a naked, dead corpse of a woman.
So I
Like every
remember,
single
yeah,
time.
I was speaking Heavy Rain because I remember in that playthrough, you yelled at Elliot to skip through the shower scene as quick as possible so you didn't have to edit it.
Yeah, but we still ended up putting Robotnik's face over the
Yeah.
nipples and ass
So
crack,
what
so.
makes it annoying if you're unfamiliar with editing is that every frame of animation in the video you have to put the image there individually and move it around so that it completely covers the naughty bits. And
Or hope that they're just not moving very much.
so
Yeah.
for 1 second of video, in order to cover it, you have to individually place 30 different images. And
I mean, depending on how your editing software handles like basic
If you're doing
movement animation.
if you're doing line tracking, like it covers most of it for you. Sometimes it's not perfect though, so you do still have to check a lot of frames. But that's assuming you're using image for cover up, like for censorship. I tried to use fuck, I forgot the name of the term. It was like mosaic censorship. It's basically like artifacting, like what they use in like interviews. It's like to like obscure the person's face and all that. I tried doing that a couple of times, but I didn't realize it was so resource intensive for the program.
yeah, it takes a
Yeah,
lot of time.
because
My
it's running a lot. It's running basically the image on top of the image.
Yeah, that crashed my software every time I tried playing a clip over it just to see if it worked, and I couldn't deal with it anymore.
Yeah,
And then I hired Elliot and Sabrina.
that's why I'm not even bothering. I'm just cutting past it.
Wait, so the best thing about that though is that the first time you try it, you haven't saved in 30 minutes. So then the game, then the program crashes and you have to do it all over again.
Nah, man, I did this shit in college. I learned that lesson a long time ago.
Yeah, you animate in the Honest 2 that you feel that every once in a while. And I think I shared this story before, but the worst I ever had to deal with that with for a review was when I was making the Metal Gear Solid 4 video. And that video was around 30 something minutes long, and there was a point where I don't know if my autosave was borked or some other shit. I think there was a blackout or there was a shortage. I lost about 15 minutes of edited footage. And 15 minutes edited was about, for that game, 10, 12 hours in the chair.
Oof, oof.
So I lost about a whole day's work.
Oh, that's awful. I feel really bad, actually. How long does a video that long take to render, for the record?
That depends on your PC. All that. So back then, I don't know, maybe a couple of hours. Not terribly long. I usually rendered overnight.
Another thing I would do for longer videos is something you can do is effectively have your timeline, save the timeline as a separate base file, and just edit it into like thirds if you're doing like a bunch of edits and chops and all that. So once you have like the thirds done and make sure that's all fine, then just put the three parts into a timeline. and then export it that way, depending on just how you want to go about exporting things.
I separate them into sequences.
Yeah,
Then I bulk export.
fair enough. Well, no, I mean like for one long video, so it's like you have one video with like lots of editing stuff on it, like, oh, I'm doing a green screen and I'm having animation and motion and all that. What you can do is something that I found useful for longer projects is you kind of edit the 5 minutes and make sure all that's fine, and just export the 5 minutes. So you have the file for that. And then you can just kind of edit them together once you're done with segments.
The problem is that you're double compressing.
Yes, potentially, depending on what exactly you're exporting to.
Yeah. So if you're a stickler for quality, like in a 4K resolution, you are double compressing the video. So.
Yeah,
that's one way of doing it. Yeah.
For something like YouTube, though, that doesn't strictly matter too
well, yeah,
much.
because YouTube compresses the video to hell and back anyway.
Yeah, so if I'm running if say you're doing a YouTube video on Mario 64, the double compression is not going to matter.
What do you use for editing?
Right now, I use the hovering over the program Movie Studio.
Yeah, I use.
I need to upgrade my movie studio because I've been using the same program since like 2012.
Yeah, whenever you screen grab that, I'm like, oh god, that takes me back.
I don't know if those programs have sequences because I use Premiere.
They're similar to Vegas in a lot of ways.
God, I don't Vegas. I have not used in over.
Yeah, well, I did use Premiere for a number of years, but I just couldn't justify paying $20 a month for it anymore.
That's
considering what I'm doing for this channel.
Yeah, it's
if I got a job with more intensive editing, then I would go back to it. But
that had a much better pay too.
Yeah, but for this, no.
No, this is for all intents and purposes a glorified hobby. So.
Yeah, so it's not worth the $20 a month.
Yeah.
Also,
do we
hi,
have
Aphrodite.
to be in here?
Yes.
Yes, we do. This is part of the plot.
Yep, which means more cuts past all of it. Because, yeah, lots of naked ladies.
I remember I have seen this scene before, and it's uncomfortable anyway.
It's very notorious.
So it's not the worst thing in the world that we have to cut past. I mean, granted, I'm not a... It's not that I'm a prude in that I don't think that sex shouldn't be... Let me say that correctly with grammar. It's not that I think that sex shouldn't be in in games. It's just that... Or even that it needs to be tasteful. It's just that you can do it without it being, like... There's a difference
How's
between
it going,
tasteful...
hot stuff?
There's a difference between being tasteful and being, like... It's borderline misogynistic, I guess is the best way to put it. And
I kind of wish that you would have just edited in a commercial for Hooters, the restaurant, and then just as Kratos is exiting the portal, you superimposed a Hooters hat and merchandise in a shirt.
He's carrying like a basket of wings.
Yeah.
How is it my fault? Zeus told me to do it.
The two best things about Hooters are the breasts and wings.
Oh, but you have, Spartan. You opened the box.
Zeus told me to open the box.
Clearly, you don't understand.
I mean, no one told me what was in the box, so...
The evils of the Great War cannot easily be contained.
Then why did Zeus ask me to open the box?
Because he's a moron, I think.
So why are you blaming me about it?
The flame of Olympus. As the raw metal took shape, I realized the flame was the safest place to protect it.
Pulls out a fire hose.
All that was needed was a key, a way to retrieve...
So, I'm trying to remember the original myth. Who was it that gave the box to Pandora? Was it Zeus?
I don't think it was.
Hold on, I'm gonna look up the myth. Because I know that the
also, the box is a mistranslation.
yeah, it's a jar or something. But, you know, same idea. Thing, it holds it.
Pandora's paperweight.
Yeah, but basically the idea is that... okay. Pandora was the first human woman created by Hephaestus on the instructions of Zeus. So basically, Zeus wanted to get his dick wet and was already getting tired of all the ladies on Olympus, and he needed to make women on Earth as well to turn into goose and have sex with. I mean, what? Anyway,
Zeus tortured me until I confessed.
I think that
Ephesus, you told me the box would be safe on Kronos, and then I told Kratos to go get the box on Kronos. This is your fault! I mean, this is at least accurate to the Greek myths. Everything is Zeus's fault.
everything is Zeus's fault. Yeah.
If you take it to the flame,
Understand this, Smith God. I will stop at nothing to
I mean, what's one more person to kill?
but if you...
Yes.
You're right, Spartan. If it means the death of Zeus, I'd be happy to help you.
Really now.
Yes, of course. We'll need the Orpheus stone.
The what?
With it, I'll make you a weapon.
Oh, okay, so there's a... Okay. Man, there's so much conflicting crap when it comes to mythology. Because, like, I'm seeing on a different thing that Zeus tricked Pandora into opening the box as punishment for Prometheus giving humanity fire or something. Whatever. Mythology's dumb.
It's more that there's no one true mythos. Everyone kind of told things a little bit differently, and there's no, like, perfect collection of them.
Are you saying that stories mostly told by mouth over hundreds of years could become warped and frayed over time?
Yes.
That sounds silly.
It's funny because back when they were making writing systems, they were doing the old people whining thing about that too.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
These stupid kids won't have to actually remember things; they could just write it down.
oh man. There are so many dumb stuff like that. Like when the printing press came out and people were reading more often, they were lamenting how people reading more often would be the decline of humanity. And how, like, when paperback novels came out, oh, now the poor people can afford books. This is just going to lower the status of literature. And then when the TV comes out, it's like, oh, people won't even read books anymore. They must watch it on TV. And it's like...
And now it's with phones.
Yeah, phones. Everybody's looking at
Yeah.
their... You're a sheeple, John. You're not catching Pokemon in Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is catching you.
I do have the Sheeple app.
There's a sheeple app?
Let me check that real quick.
What does it do?
I don't know. I just keep looking at it.
Oh, sounds fun. I should download it.
And we have a random centaur.
Centaurs are pretty cool, though.
Fuck me, man. I see those things swimming in the air, and all I think of the Whispers 7 remake.
What are you talking about?
I know the Nomura bullshit's coming in here too. Okay, the Whispers are those little ghostly flying things in the 7 remake.
Those things. Yeah, okay.
The Nomura Kingdom Hearts bullshit.
Oh. Don't you just mean bullshit?
Well, Nomura wasn't always full of bullshit. It's mostly prevalent in Kingdom Hearts.
Well, but there's the thing, though. It wasn't until Kingdom Hearts where he started telling stories. So I would say he's always bullshit.
Was he involved with the story in Final Fantasy X at all?
Not 10, no. I don't think so.
Okay.
He was involved with the original 7 story, but he also had 2 other folks. And he had Hironobu Sakaguchi as a director.
Yeah, he was in charge, but he wasn't, like, running the show in every
He wasn't running the show. Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. Let me take a look here.
I want to say he wasn't, like, the full guy in charge. Everything goes through him until 10.
From what I can tell, at least as far as what Wikipedia tells me, he was just one of the artists. He's not credited as directing or writing anything.
No. It was Yoshinori Kitase
Yeah.
for 10.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, he was just the character designer.
Yeah, so... I guess you can't blame Nomura for Final Fantasy X's interesting approach to storytelling. By
Close.
interesting, I mean bad. It's
Yes.
bad. This is the part where John doesn't argue about it because he doesn't. Feel
I was
like
just nodding my head and not nodding. No, that would mean I approve. No, I would disapprove of what you said.
Okay.
But I don't feel like arguing with you.
Yeah, no, that's what that's what I'm getting at, which is fine because I don't feel like arguing about.
I
Final
would
Fantasy
love
X
to do a
either.
10 commentary, but that is an investment of time. That's
You would be.
not
It's either going to be you or Lewis doing that. So
No, well, see, Lewis has already taken 7 remake, and they didn't even ask any of us. Just fucking took it. And I was like, hey, thanks, asshole.
I mean, John, what was the last time you recorded a 20+ hour game for this channel?
Have I ever recorded a 20+ hour game?
You
for this
recorded
channel?
6.
Besides, that was so many years ago.
I know,
though.
but it still counts.
There was one time where we were talking about, okay, what games can we record for the channel? And I said, just in passing, I could do Final Fantasy IV. And then you were like, oh, okay, you can do it, but I'm just going to watch you like a hawk. And then I believe you actually wrote in text, caca,
yes,
into Discord. So
no, Skype.
was it Skype? It could have been Skype.
Yeah, it was long enough. It was long enough to go to.
Yeah,
Skype.
this was so long ago. This was Skype.
Yeah, so on that front, I don't blame Lewis for just claiming it.
Yes, but the thing is that since Lewis recorded it, half of it will be done, and the other half will happen 3 years from now, maybe?
Later, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it just like after part 2, it just transforms into Mass Effect 2. It's like, oh, you tricked me.
Well, at least Mass Effect 2 did get finished a long time ago. Like, he did record the whole thing.
Yeah.
You just haven't done it. Even.
I don't want to do that game.
Well, there's no buggy to waste our time on this.
No, I don't believe that.
You don't
It's
believe
just
that he
transition.
forgot about the bigger gun?
He wants us to ride the Doom buggy more. It's like, no, get it away from me.
But Mass Effect 2 is apparently the good one, though. Or the best one, I should say. I'm not going to say the good one as if the other ones aren't good, because I've never played them, so I wouldn't know. Every time we talk about Mass Effect or the Western RPGs Lewis really likes, I'm like, oh, I should really get and give those a fair shot one of these days, and I never do.
And then time to play Dragon Quest XI again.
I mean, to be fair, I haven't really been playing much Dragon Quest lately, mostly just because I've been burnt out on JRPGs. I guess because I did play through Dragon Quest XI a lot. Like, that's a long game to play through. So after
Okay,
that,
Ted, that means it's time to play through over 200 hours of Persona 5 Royal for you.
I honestly don't like. I mean, we're at the very end. Of
God,
the
that
part,
sounds exhausting.
But Persona just doesn't do it for me. The general vibe and the art style and the tone, just not my cup of tea, really. Can't get into it.
And that's fair enough. We will see you guys all in the next part of God of War.